Welcome to Investment Talk Only with Johnny Ruiz. It's time to get to the money.
Yo, what up? This is
Only.
Investment Talk Only. Welcome to the show. So this is the first episode of 2021.
Hey,
Yes, and it's gonna be a great year.
Exciting.
absolutely.
So this is a show where we talk about investment. You get educated, you get entertained, and we got a special guest. First off, we got the traditional co-host Monique Benitez, the special guest Ryan G.
Hey,
How's everyone doing
Yes.
today?
From Cali.
all the way.
Yeah, from Cali. Well, she originated from
I'm
Orlando,
doing great.
though. Our
I
hometown.
did.
Yeah.
That's-
Hardly home, always repping.
Yep. This episode's theme is so we wanted to get someone who's like fairly new to the stock market, and to kind of get their story on their experience of jumping in, and maybe it's a horrible experience, maybe it's great, but we want to know what actually someone new and has a fresh perspective on things, what their experience was like. So that's why we have Ryan here. So first off, I was going to give it to Ryan, but Monique, did you have anything?
No, I'm just excited. I'm excited for 2021. I think this is going to be a great year in every aspect. So I'm looking forward to the new things that we have going on with this podcast. And Ryan, welcome. And
Thank you.
you're our first, you're the first episode. So,
Bringing it
Yeah.
in.
I'm excited.
Actually, so before we get into to Ryan, want to talk about the market. So it's about it's the first week of the new year of the markets,
Mhm.
and the market's just been crazy. It's just
Well,
up.
it's been crazy. This
Oh my
world has been crazy.
God.
So I was thinking
my portfolio was
about
very
that
happy.
earlier, and I was like, well, I gotta hit up Johnny and find out if there's like with everything going on, like how is that affecting the market, good or bad?
Ooh,
Well, so almost everything is going to be bad. Like if it's making the news and it's pretty it's perceived as negative, it's always going to be bad in the short term, but in the long term, you're always going to be good.
Okay,
So
because
yeah,
if it goes bad, that's your opportunity to just
to buy
stock
more.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
in
so
the long run,
that's
it's gonna
exactly
be
what I
good.
did for XLK, the ETF XLK that I recommended like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. It got crushed the other day, and I was like, yes. I bought some more. It was great. Yeah, so stock market is good. Ryan, do you have any exposure with Tesla?
no, I was just talking about this with my boyfriend last night. Matter of fact, was like, I think now is the time to buy. But I've been scared. I haven't been watching it at all. But I'm just now finding out about their splits,
Yeah.
all that. So remember, I'm new, y'all.
Yeah. Tesla's been running up. All right,
Yeah, I
cool.
heard
So
I
2021
need
has
to
been good
contact
so far.
Tesla and have Johnny. I feel like I need to contact Tesla and have you be like their spokesperson because you very much you be on it.
Yeah, they didn't give
be
me
on it.
20% for sure.
They do.
All right, so
I
Ryan.
saw somebody. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You have something to say?
Oh, I was gonna say, I saw someone, they posted a screenshot that they had bought a contract for Tesla for like $72. That was yesterday, and sold it for $840 today. And I was like,
What? Oh my God.
yeah, it was crazy.
That is
Crazy.
crazy. Wow. Yeah.
That is
Well,
crazy.
Yeah, that's the power of the stock market, man. You could make a lot of money quickly. So Ryan, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself.
Sure.
If you want to give us a little bit of your background, I don't know where you're from or whatever, but if you could actually add in, what interests you in getting into investing and stuff, that'd be great.
What interested me in getting into investing?
Yep.
Okay, for sure. All right, so what's up, y'all? You already know my name is Ryan. I am originally a Florida native. I grew up in Orlando with my mom, played a lot of basketball sports growing up. I went to college for a little bit. That was kind of boring, a little difficult
Yeah.
out here in Cal State, Northridge. I actually left Orlando and came out to LA in pursuit of acting. that was good. It's a little rocky. It was difficult, but perseverance and consistency ended up getting me a few gigs, a lot of knowledge, and then which brings us to today, or March, pandemic. So then, I had a lot of momentum going. I was really excited, and then boom, pandemic happened. Everything shut down.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
which is, I think they said that there's a lot of new investors, but that is what actually brought me to investing today. So I was like, man, pandemic happened. This is kind of crazy. And then we started getting, like the unemployment, and then, the stimulus or whatever. And I was like, I'm trying to figure out how to make $1 out of 15 cents.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget who, I forget who it was that exposed me to the market, but I was just like, how do I learn how to become financially stable, right? I turned 30 in March, the week before the pandemic happened. I couldn't go anywhere. I was planning my 30th birthday.
Man.
I was so excited, I know. And then the week before it happened, it was like, girl, whatever plans you had or thought you had, that's it. So then,
Yeah,
again,
that's a key age too. That's a key birthday too, and COVID just messed that up too.
it was the big one, right?
Man.
So like, oh man, like I don't get to do
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I'm in the house just like, all right, well, I guess I'll take some birthday pictures in the room then with my cake by myself, like whatever. But just turning that age, was like that pivot point for me too. And then pandemic, all of it just kind of colliding at once, where I was like, all right, this year I want to make some changes. I want to be financially stable. I want to start thinking about my future. If I want to have kids, my mom, and give back to her. And then I had all this civil unrest even after that. And I was like, man, I got to figure out how to help my people out. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I can't remember what it was, but I think I was just like browsing on the web, just looking around like, all right, financial state, how do I make money? And then boom, there was stock market. And I was like, I don't know. That sounded kind of scary to me. Like I don't know what the Dow is. When the market crashes, you watch CNN and you hear that and you're like, oh, them people lost all their money. No, that's crazy. So I'm like, I don't even know. I need my little $100.
Yeah, you're like, not I, not today.
Right.
That's funny.
So I started reading about it a little bit more and started finding some people, Chris Zane, I think you talk about him a lot. I think Mark, is it Mark Monroe? CJ Johnson, Chris Johnson, and it was actually Chris Johnson the most, who he was real transparent with his account. He was showing how he would buy things and it grow or whatever. And I was like, so that's what the market is? Like, you just hand some money, trade some money for some more money?
Yeah.
All right, hold up. Like, let me
Like, all right, so if I give you this quarter, you're gonna give me $1? That's what you're trying to say?
Right.
I'm gonna do this all day.
And all I gotta do is
like, if I give this quarter, I just wait. Yeah, I just gotta wait a couple hours, and then you're gonna give me $1 back. I'm gonna do this all day, every day, and that's basically
every day.
Yeah,
I'm like, I wait more paycheck, so let me go ahead and let me see. So sure enough,
you're basically
I had
paying for patience.
Right. Exactly.
You're basically getting paid for your patience.
Exactly. Basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I had $200 and I was like, let me see, open a little Robinhood account. I didn't know what I was doing. I just looked at people who was making money and I was like, okay, what's under $10? Then whatever they bought that was less than $10, I would buy.
Oh, I feel you. Like, yes.
So then I was like, all right, y'all. And this was in September. I made my first investment technically in September.
Nice.
It was on this company called Apps. I didn't know what. I didn't know the terminology of the REITs, real estate, whatever. I was like, whatever. It was $5. I'm gonna buy it. So I bought it, let it sit, forgot about it, came back. I was like, oh, it's $5.50 now. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, it's $6 now. Okay. It'd move around. And so just in that time, I was just learning and learning and learning. And I just got more confident to today, to where I'm like, where now I'm trading. And even if I'm down, $100 or $50 or $60, I'm not afraid. I just have to wait it out. Like Monique was saying, just I'm getting paid for my patience. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
So
So
I got a question. So
sure.
so before March and any of that, you never had any exposure to it. Nobody ever talked to you about it. Aunts,
No,
uncles, nothing like
and
that.
I'm mad about that. I'm so mad nobody ever told me that. Like I said, you could just hang a little $10 in and somebody give you back some money for it. I could have been doing this a long time ago. I started calling up my family. I'm like, look, yeah, I got a bunch of little cousins. I'm like, hey, y'all got to get some stocks for y'all kids. Y'all need to start investing right now. Like, put all that money that you keep spending at these shopping malls, like, go find companies that you like and spend the most money with, and then invest it. And then, and nobody told me about dividends. That was a thing too. So I was like, oh, y'all gonna give me back money for growth and the dividend and interest, like.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, like is this real? Like
what?
is it really a thing?
That's so funny.
Yeah, so I mean
have
that's oh, go ahead, Monique.
So I have a question.
Sure.
This is something that I struggle with. All right, you said that once the pandemic hit, right, it put you like the pressure on you because you had the pandemic and you're searching your career and all that stuff. Do you feel like the pressure of the pandemic and everything is what pushed you, like to like put your back up against the wall, basically?
That's a good question. I'm gonna actually answer that and say no, because I actually did have in LA. I don't know what it's like everywhere else, but they did end up giving us it was extra $600 unemployment. So it was like whatever your base unemployment was, an extra. And I was like, wow, I'm making more money than I ever did. So right. So it wasn't really the pressure of the pandemic that it didn't have my back up against the wall. What happened was it just made me start to think more, like, how can I capitalize? It got me to think creatively about money.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're like, now I got this money. Now I want to take advantage of what I could do with it. That's
right. How do I keep this money? How do I make it grow? And so I started doing a lot of research about it. And I mean, I was staying up till like 4:00 in the morning, and I didn't feel stressed about it. I was excited. Like, I wanted to know more. People younger than me were like making millions of dollars. And, I was like, how? What? How?
She was like, go sign me up. Where we at?
Yeah.
So going back to you never heard about this before. That's kind of the point of this show, is kind of like to put people on notice. Like I said, most of our people that they've never been talked about this before. It wasn't discussed at the dinner table. It was just kind of like, graduate high school, go to college, and
I got a funny story.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I got a funny story because I find myself, when I learn about something, all you got to do is make 2 + 2. If 2 + 2 = 4, I'm with it. I don't even know, everything else, but as long as the numbers make sense, I'm the type of person that's like, okay, I like that. That sounds good, right? So I kind of jump the gun and I start telling my friends and family, like, this is a thing you got to get on. You got to do this. And then they're like, well, how does it work? And I'm like, well, I don't really know, but like, it sounds good. You know what I mean? So I would go, I have this funny story. I was talking to some of my friends. We were just kicking it a few months ago. I was like, y'all got to get on the stock market. They're actors as well. And they had never heard of it. Same thing as me. They're like, no, the stock market, that's where you lose your money. And then they hearing about stories where somebody lost, $9,000 or $10,000. And we talking to people, where we're from, we're like, $9,000 is a meal ticket, basically. Like, I could do it $9,000. I'm like, I feel you. So the problem, we were sitting in the living room and I was like, no, look, you could put like $10, $20, whatever, and you could buy some stocks and then you could just sit on them. And then every month or every 3 months, they'll pay you some dividends. So my friend was like, oh, okay, well, how much is the dividends? And I was like, girl, it's like 20. And she was like, 23 cents, bitch, got me out. She out.
She was like, you excited about this?
She shot me down, and like, I was like, dang, I feel a little discouraged now. I'm like,
yeah, you shouldn't have led with that one.
I shouldn't have.
She's like, 23 cents.
Oh my
She
god.
was not feeling it. And I was trying my best.
Oh, that's
I was
funny.
like, but wait, it'll compound and it ain't that. You could buy
Yeah.
more shares. And so she was like, you want me to put $3,000 to get back $23? I'm like, all right, I hear what you're saying. But like,
Yeah.
like,
He was like,
you know what I
you
mean?
this excited and this the best you have to offer? 20.
Right.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Oh, we know you ain't gonna be no salesperson, that's for sure. Get back.
Basically, I'm like, okay, let me learn a little bit more. Let me slow down. Let me
Yeah.
my success is up a little bit. Let me learn, let me maneuver, let me figure out how to talk to people so that I can encourage my friends. Because if you like I said, if you run to people and you like, hey, put $100 in the stock market, they're gonna give you back 12 cents next 3 months. Nobody is about to do that. They're not feeling that.
Yeah, they're like,
So you got in and I guess what was it like? Well, I don't know, when you first got in your trade and whatever, I don't know, were you like scared that you could lose all your money, or were you, I don't know, and then at the end, how did you end up after, you seen the results?
Yeah. So, okay. So I put my first, couple $100 in. I hadn't read any books. I hadn't I didn't know what the terms like due diligence or any of that stuff meant. I couldn't read a chart. I had no idea. I just put the money in because, like I said, it was less than $10. And so I started watching it. It was kind of exciting. I would see, watch the stock price move up, down, move up, down.
Mhm.
A month later, I forget what all I started with, but like whenever it would move $1, I would just sell, right? And then I'd come back and look at that stock again and saw that it moved up $3, $4. So then I started being like, okay, well, how do you know? You know what I mean? So then I just started just sort of slowing down
Yeah.
and just waiting, and then that's when I first finally bought my first course. So
Okay.
I bought a course, started trying to read, learning how to moving averages and stuff like that. I got like this very simple course that would just teach you like, a stock moves this much in 20 days. After that 20 days,
Yeah.
that's where you buy. And then, hold it and then sell it if you're trading.
Yeah.
Whatever. I feel like
Talk
I
about
forgot
the 20-day moving average, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot the other questions that, you asked me if I was scared. Yeah, no, I wasn't scared at all. I just
Okay.
was so
I'm just saying, what was your feelings like going in? Like, I don't know, were you excited like for the
yeah,
opportunity or whatever?
absolutely. I was incredibly excited, y'all. I mean,
Is it still
and
that way?
it teaches you, absolutely. People are making dollars. I am way excited, way excited. So, I mean, even when I lost my first $200, when I started trying to trade, options, again, being in the stock market has changed the way that I even think. So when I lose 200, I'm like, I know that I can make that back in a couple of days or next week, or tomorrow. So I don't really get afraid like that anymore, or not anymore. I just don't get afraid.
Yeah.
Again, it changed the way that I think. I'm already looking at my next paycheck. I'm like, okay, how much is this? How much can I put in the market so I can buy this, this, and this? Like I've been going broke investing, basically.
You put all your money in investing?
All the time.
Yeah, because like when you're in it, like you don't, you say you lost the $200, so so say somebody new, that might discourage them. But
Yeah.
since you've like done it, now you're used to it. It's like now you just see these things as opportunities. And
Right,
not
exactly.
like, I'm scared to take a loss. You're like, man, this could be a good opportunity, and I want to.
And it makes you think. You're like, okay, well, why did I do that? You're right. I took that trade. I didn't know nothing about it. I was trying something, so I couldn't be mad at myself for losing. You know what I'm saying? And then I think about it again. It changes how you think, because I'm like, well, I could have went to brunch with that $200. I probably was gonna buy a shoe with that $200. I probably was gonna go. You know what I'm saying? And those aren't assets. That wasn't gonna bring me back no money. So when I lose money, I just think of it as like that's shopping money or whatever. I'll just go and get that back tomorrow. I'll go get that back next week. I'll slow down trading big positions and try smaller ones. Or I need to read more about this thing. But I hope that definitely for new trade or new investors, it shouldn't be so. I don't think you should be afraid as a new investor, because more than likely you're going to take your money, buy something, and park it. You're not about to try to trade it, right? So it doesn't matter really so much. But if you start trying to learn how to trade, you might start losing a little bit of money. But you get that beginner's luck first. So when you win a lot, and then you start to lose, then you're like,
but the thing is, you get big headed and you get sloppy. You're like, I can do this in my. Let me just close my eyes and pick something.
Basically.
And then you get your head blown. So.
And I almost did. I would, especially if you don't stick to whatever techniques that you have. Like, you only buy the stock once it moves across the 20-day moving average or whatever, and then you wait a day or two or something like that. Whatever your technique is, I would start not being disciplined, and I'd be like, oh, it's moving up, I'm gonna just buy it now because I'm gonna get it even cheaper, so when it does pop, I'm gonna really turn up. And then I would buy it while it was down, and then it would move against me even more, and I was like, oh hell, they heard me talking.
That's something I would do. You get coffee, you'd be like, I'm gonna have a success story, and then it don't work like that.
No,
like, I'm gonna come to the chat like, oh, guess what happened with me? I turned that 10 cents $5. Like,
my dream. That is my dream. I'm like, they always talking about moving out. Watch this. I'm about to be different. I'm gonna get in real early. I'm gonna shock everybody.
Yeah, I'm like, they're just thinking too much into it. They're not risk takers like me. That's it. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
So Ryan, have you had like a devastating loss yet? Because I've had a devastating loss in the beginning. So do you have one of those?
Talk about your devastating loss. I haven't heard about that.
So it was like the first few months I was trading, and I heard about some news on a stock. It was like a penny stock, and then I saw overnight it was just like boom, it went up, it gapped up. That's a trader's term. It gapped up. That means from the day before and when it opened, it was just a significantly higher price. So I'm like, oh, I'm getting in there, but I'm gonna wait till it goes down a little bit and then I'm gonna get in. So I did that, wait till it go down, and just like you said, it just kept on going down.
Boy.
And I put so much money in it, and I was like, it's gonna pull back up, and I just kept on. I didn't listen to any stop loss, any of my trading plans. I'm like, it's coming back up. I just lost so much money. And then I look at the chart of it. So it was a 6-month chart. And this thing did that like every 2 months. It gapped up and then just dropped. Gapped up and just dropped. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even look at the chart. I would have seen that it did this every like 2 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then it depleted my account a lot, and then I had to go like to my savings and re-up.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's not funny at all. That's a terrible story.
That's bad.
She's like,
and you made that back though, yeah?
Did you cry? Did you want to cry?
Yeah.
No, but it made me question. I was like, damn, man, can I do this? But really just be like, yo, just don't do that again. That was stupid.
Right.
But yeah, like it was that same day I was like, oh, putting some more money in. And then the savings, that was all I had. So I was like, this is it. Do or die.
I haven't experienced anything like that before. No. I guess you know what? I guess what my devastating loss, because my account is much smaller, but it wasn't so much devastating in the dollar amount. It was more devastating in I really thought I had this one and it worked against me. And it was definitely like, it was DKNG for sure. It's my first contract.
DraftKings.
Yeah. Oh man. And then I didn't understand because the stock price would start to move up. And then every time I looked at my position on the contract, I was like, why is it going down? This was before I knew anything about the Greeks, you know, like theta and all that other stuff. And then another one was Pfizer, right? When they had that news about the vaccine, I thought, oh, for sure, I'm about to buy some contracts. They about to pop off. Boom, down it went. So I was like, I didn't understand. I was really hurt about that one because I definitely, there were some people that I know that they had like 20 and 50 contracts, and like people in trading groups that were just like deleting their accounts. I didn't experience what they experienced, but that definitely was one of the ones where I was like,
the stock market is a dangerous world.
Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing,
if you don't know what you're doing. So then another guy, who, that was in the group with us was like, let me do a video. And he pulled up the Pfizer chart, and then he pulled up the S&P, the index. And he was like, look at the chart. And they were exactly, basically identical. And he was like, if you had compared Pfizer's chart to the index, you would have saw that if the S&P is dropping and going down, Pfizer would have been going down as well. And then you would have never bought the contract. And I was like, oh, so it's that simple. You know what I'm saying? So if you're trading, if you're trading, but just like, you got to know what you're doing for sure.
Yeah,
if you want to gamble, I mean, you can't be surprised.
When trading, like, so I have like 4 charts up. Well, I have 5, but on one screen I have 4. 3 of them tied to the actual stock I'm working on, and then the other one ties to the SPY, S&P 500. Because I know if the S&P 500 is starting to go down, then especially if it's a blue chip stock, like a big stock, then that's probably going to go down too. So I'll start getting out of it if I see the S&P 500 is going down.
And those are things that I had no idea about, but when you learn that, just hearing it one time makes a difference.
Yeah, often you gotta learn by losing though. Like you would never. Yeah, like you search for the answers when you lose.
When you lose, right? If you got some sense, anyways, or you could just be doing the same stupid thing over and over. Like, all right, I'm trying to win. I'm gonna just keep, emotional traders. But I try to explain to my friends or whoever isn't in the stock market, like if you're not trading, just find some companies that you really, really like. And the stupid simple way is like, look at the bottom. There's something called a relative strength index, right? RSI. If it's more than like 60, don't buy that stock yet. Just wait, or look at it a little bit later. If it's then you can buy it and you'll be fine. Just buy it, park your money, sit there.
So I got another question. Monique, do you got anything?
No, I just what I was gonna say is I had a loss one time. I'm in Johnny's Investment Talk Only group chat on WhatsApp. And so one day somebody just threw something in there like, oh, this is booming, blah, 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 blah. It was a penny stock. So I just woke up, did no research. I'm like, they know what they're talking about. So I went in, put a whole bunch of money in it, and then it just went like, and I'm like, what? I ain't say nothing to nobody because I was just pissed, but I was like, what? I'm not listening to nobody ever again. I thought that, I was like, they know what they're talking about. They do this all the time. So I just went in, he was like, oh, he woke up, yo, this is booming. And I just literally went into my thing, boom, bought a whole bunch. And it just went, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I've never done that again. So you're right, it's important to do your research. Yeah, for real. I was like, I'm not listening to no, unless it's Johnny, like I'll listen to him, but I thought they all knew what they were talking about, but no. Saying he mentioned, he was like, dang, my bad, like, but he was learning as well. But I thought he was like on another level.
Oh yeah,
he wasn't.
Oh, I actually do remember that. I'm not gonna call his name out, but I remember that.
You remember that?
Oh man,
yeah, I remember. Yeah. He was like, and that's when I realized. I was like, okay, maybe not everybody's like on the same level in this chat.
Nah.
So, because he sounds so confident.
Yeah,
well,
I was excited. I was like, oh, we got a hit.
Sometimes they'll call out a play and be like, oh, this stock is booming, right? After they got out. And so like it was booming. He ain't lying, but like they ain't in that play anymore. And I started learning that too. I was
he lost his money too.
Oh,
no, he put in way more. He lost his money too.
Oh man.
Yeah, he did.
I got burnt on a penny stock and then sold for a loss. But again, name of the game is patience. If I had just waited, it actually ended up coming back up like 3 weeks later. But I was like, this is 5 days and this thing ain't moved. And like I wasn't feeling it.
Yo, so Ryan, going back to you got talking to the people.
Yeah.
What has been your experience with it? Like, has it been beneficial for you being in the stock market? And I mean, if so, like, can you just tell?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why they should they should come in. If you would recommend that.
Absolutely. Again, going back to my first trades, I remember when I made a trade and I made I got in a trade and then got out like a minute later. I made $42, right? I was so excited. I said, $42 is more than I make in an hour. And I made this in 1 minute. And I'm just sitting in this bed. I ain't go nowhere. So
I think you texted me that day when you did that.
I think I probably was so.
That's funny.
I was like, it smelled like broken here. Y'all still go to work? Like,
I'm gonna start using that.
I was so excited, right? And it worked. It kept working for me. I don't have, like, oh, it was bad after that. No, it kept working for me, and I started to learn more. Like, okay, you can do a trade, make that money, use the money, the gains that you have, and then like make some more trades, right? Thinking about the same thing of I didn't have to go anywhere for that $42. You may say like, oh, $42, that ain't nothing. But think about it. I was in my bed. I had one eye open. I didn't have to talk to nobody. I didn't have to look at nobody. I didn't have to comb my hair.
Yep.
Nothing to make
40 minutes too.
Yeah. I'd be eating, making. That's the life I want, right?
Mhm.
I don't know how many times I was younger was like, man, I want a job where I don't have to talk to anybody. I don't want to do anything. I'm sick of managers or whatever. Like, this is the one. Like, oh, this is it. So, talking to new people that are thinking about not getting in the market, like, even if you still say, okay, $42, whatever. I love my job, right? That could be. Well, you got to think about inflation. Your money is in the market. It's growing. Your money is in a savings account. It's not growing. The interest is probably like 0.1 cent. And that's after, I don't know, a few months. I don't know how savings accounts work. Some of them don't have yields at all.
Nothing.
Right. And so, I mean, you could take that same few $100s or $2,000, put it in there. Not only will the stock or whatever the price grow $5, or $2 or $1, whatever, you'll also get a dividend. The price of inflation, your money compounds. And you don't have to do anything or go anywhere.
So
I think you can tell somebody, yeah, well, in 30 years, you'll be a millionaire. And folks say, oh, 30 years, I need my money now. I want to be a millionaire now. But if you don't have a savings account at 30 years, you're still not, or if you don't have something where you're growing your income, it doesn't. And some people don't even see themselves alive, like at 60 years old. They're just looking at today and right now. You got to be able to see your future. And if once you can do that and say, okay, I want to be out of this position by such and such time, I'm telling you, the market is the one.
Yeah. So I don't know if you felt this way, but like, so the first time we talked, like you were on it like that next day, and you've been on it ever since then. But you're rare. Most people I talk to, they're really interested and want to get in, but they're just hesitant, and they don't actually just do that final step. So I don't know if it took you a while to actually just jump in, but for those who might be hesitant or like they want to do it, but I don't know, they're one foot in, one foot out. I don't know. Do you have anything? Advice for them? Words of
family. What'd you say?
Monique?
Telling you to push them over the edge.
Yeah.
My family is like that. I'll tell them, I'm like, hey, look, put your money in this. I got a lecture one time. They're like, stock market is fake. I'm like, what you mean? It's right there. How is fake? But like, and then they're like, it doesn't. You lose money, all that fear mongering that you hear, because they don't know any better. So I get I've actually been having a tough time, like trying to break through with people, telling them to put their money in. But I'm like, look, if you spend even if you don't know anything about the market, you do know that you have favorite companies that you shop with all the time in real life, right? So at the bare minimum, park your money with those people so that they can pay you back. Because right now, you're just giving them money and they're not really giving you anything back unless you make a return on your purchase, right? But then you lose the thing that you want. So at the very, very least, like, put your money in the market with those companies, and it's a good company. And that if you're afraid of it going bankrupt or whatever, that you like Disney. Disney ain't never going bankrupt, right? Nike, it's just not gonna happen.
Amazon, Apple,
Amazon, that's it. Just period. That's never going to happen. So like even to get somebody who's new and doesn't know, and they're kind of hesitant, they don't really know anything about the market or whatever. Again, all that stuff about the Dow falling doesn't mean it's going to zero. It just drops a few points and then it goes back up a few points. And I myself today don't even know what the Dow or what any of that stuff means, but just from being, around it.
Yeah.
Like even with all that, the market's going to crash. Like it doesn't. It just doesn't. It doesn't in the way that they're trying to explain that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I don't know how
They're making it like it's indefinite, like all your money's gone forever type of deal.
Right. They think that you don't get, you put your $1,000 in and then that's it. They take your $1,000 and walk away. Yeah. And that's just how that works.
Yeah. So I like to put it like, so we already know what this result gets you, like not investing. So let's try something new. Let's actually try to invest. And if it doesn't work out, then you're like, it's not for me. It didn't work out. But it's like people they get scared and they don't even want to try it. But every single person that has actually tried it that are around me, like they're never getting out. And in fact, they're addicted to it.
Same.
Yeah.
I would be like, this is going to be my long-term investment. I'm not going to look at it. The next, I'm like, okay, let me see what else.
Yeah.
What's going on with them?
Yeah.
So what do you think the future for you, with you in the stock market? You think you're going to be doing this, for the rest of your life? Are you going to try to, be financially like independent through the stock market? I don't know. What do you see in your future with investing?
Crazy. This year, I feel like I've already started trying to figure out how to revamp my account, right? So like I found myself, this is another thing I wanted to talk about too, like with new people, is you got to get some, like morals, some ethics, and it becomes easier for you, because if not, you start hearing like, okay, you make money, whatever, then you start chasing the money. And I don't want to invest against my morals. And so I actually did that. I want to go ahead and talk about that real quick. I believe in clean energy, recycling, just a healthier, cleaner planet. And I saw Chevron. It fell for a little bit. I said, there's an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
And I bought it. It eventually rose back up. But in the time that it took, I started thinking about it, because when you start investing in companies, you start getting alerts about, the companies that you're investing in. And an article had came out, and it was like top 20 companies that are most, that are most globally polluting the world or whatever. And then I looked at the list and I was like, it ain't even in the top 20. And I said, it's not in the top 10. It ain't in the top 5. It was the second most leading company that pollutes the world. And I just was like,
yeah,
why am I putting money in this company that I don't even, it goes against what I believe in. So I sold it, got out of it. I felt bad though. I felt terrible. So I just want to talk about, like, if you get yourself some technique, get yourself some morals.
That's a good story. And I support that 100%. And I mean, I do it myself. I will never consciously invest in a company that goes against, my morals, especially like humanity morals,
Yeah.
Like I know, some people don't invest in like marijuana companies because a lot of people of color are still behind bars, due to, petty, marijuana charges. And now it's becoming legal, and it's like, really? Like, and now, I don't know, are they still going to stay in, prison, even though it's legal now? So, like, people are not going to invest in those companies because of that reason. So that's definitely dope. That's definitely dope.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you said, do I see myself? Absolutely.
I admire that, actually.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I definitely see myself just getting much more disciplined, learning about the companies that I'm investing in. I am going to be in this for life because I consider myself a dividend investor. I have already started thinking about ways to structure my personal life so that I can be able to invest more. So like coming up with side hustles. It's so crazy, man. Being in the market really, really does expose you to even being an entrepreneur, a better entrepreneur. So I bought a vending machine. I got outside yesterday. Nice. I spent all day trying to find a place to place it. I got a couple leads, but you know what I mean? I was like, okay, so I can get this vending machine. I bought it for $500. I go set it at a place with high volume. It'll cash flow $750 a month. Okay, I can take that $750, put that in the market, buy this company. That's this many hundred shares, that many hundred shares plus this dividend. It'll give me this much. You know what I mean? Like I start thinking about how to make more passive income by just putting it into the, and then eventually, you know, I don't have to work. I live off my passive, you know, off my dividend.
That is so dope. I'm about to go look up vending machines right now as soon as we get off this call.
Right now.
Yeah. So when you end up investing and you start seeing those returns, you literally start looking for money to put it more. Like you're trying to find money.
It's like get the itch. You're like, okay, where else am I gonna get this money from? So
that's pretty good. So you in this for life, huh?
Absolutely. Until America don't exist no more, then I'm gonna go put my money in the UK stock exchange. Like whatever. It don't matter. Africa got one, we going over there. Like for as long as Earth exists, I'm out here in the market.
Yo, Monique, your video is frozen, yo. Are you still there?
Uh-oh.
Oh, she don't left.
Oh, there she goes.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I can't even hear you guys.
Well,
can you hear me?
We're short on time anyways, but one last thing, because you mentioned options. So eventually I want to get
my internet's not good.
In the into options because you know, it's powerful.
Yeah.
Do you have anything on options versus regular investing? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm still learning options myself. I watch YouTube videos here and there to learn it. I talk to you all the time, ask you about stuff. Y'all help me a lot on the Zoom meetings. I'm in the chat with y'all too, indicators and all that stuff. Options is cheaper, you know what I mean? But the losses could be greater. And the gains are, you know, triple, even better, you know, in a short amount of time. So I don't really know what else to say about options as far as like I either get my tail kicked or I'm somewhere celebrating. Like now,
I think because you're doing more short term, right?
Yeah, so I'm doing like weeklies. Sometimes it's a month out, but if it's like I have I think I have one that's like 2 months out. Is that pretty good? Is that like a long call then?
That's short.
No, that's short too.
Yeah, see? Like anything under like 6 months is short. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't.
So I gotta put you on game. You gotta do better. So the long-term options, which is like at least a year, but preferably 2 years, you ain't gotta worry about all that, you know, big losses, whatever. Because you know, for example, Apple, you know, if you ask me, is it gonna be down tomorrow or next week? I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
Flip a coin. But if I ask you if Apple gonna be up in a year or two, everybody's gonna say, of course. So that's why you buy those long-term options. When it goes down a little bit, you're like, I'm not worried about it. And then when that 8 months comes and you're ready to sell out of it, you'll be up a lot. So you gotta get those long terms.
Okay, I'm about to be asking y'all about that in the chat then, because I thought for sure I was doing something with my little March one. I was like, I'm asleep. I don't care. March 2 months. And you're like, no. I'm like, okay, I'm about to log in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, I get you right. All right. So we're gonna have to wrap up. Any final words from either of you?
Get in the market. Get your money. Grow. Just get the family right. I'm telling you, change your life. What y'all say? The stock market is reparations. It absolutely is. If your money is parked in a 401k, I don't care if you're 50, take it out, put it in the market. They're stealing from you. Don't let these folks steal from you no more. Period.
I love it. Our reparations through the market.
Honestly, you got me motivated.
Let's
do
go.
more because I know I gotta do better. I do a little bit, but I don't do too much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm more like a what is it, like a safe?
Yeah.
I do things safe. I don't do too many risks. Yeah. Listen, conservative. That's the word.
If you find yourself browsing social media and you just scrolling through the Instagram for 30-40 minutes, you could have watched a 5-minute YouTube video if you wasn't gonna buy a book. And they're gonna break it down. I'm telling you.
Yo, that was a gem right there.
5 minutes.
I love that. I love that. That was.
Yeah, I feel like she's talking to me.
Yo,
Like,
actually,
Monique,
can you
this
say that
is- I
again?
know which.
Can you say it again, please?
I felt that was saying
Um,
if you scroll in Instagram for 30, 40 minutes, you could have watched a 5-minute YouTube video on how to trade, on how to invest, and you would have just changed your life for the next 5 years. Period. And
Revenue generating conversations and revenue generating actions. That's what we're about.
'cause you get overwhelmed, you're like, oh, I don't understand it, I don't want to do it. But if you just take those 5 minutes, just look at a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It could be once a week and then twice a week. Once you start seeing you're about to make money, you're about to change your life. Like, cause otherwise you're gonna be 60 and you still broke, and you're gonna be like, damn, why I didn't do that when I was 40?
that's true.
Damn, we need to have her on every episode, yo. Damn,
I know.
that's what's up.
She's like,
Oh my god.
you about to take my job? She about to kick me out. Johnny, like, good morning. Bye.
No, not. It's been
Me
a
and Ryan
pleasure
got-
meeting
me
you.
and Ryan
Monique.
got
Well, cool.
Thank you. I
Ryan,
appreciate that.
yeah, thanks for joining. Yeah, we gotta have you on again some other time, and we gotta get an update.
Yes, for
Absolutely. I
sure.
appreciate y'all.
Mhm.
Thank y'all so much for having me. Thank you for teaching me, Johnny.
Oh,
And then
appreciate it.
also thank you, ma'am, for he said that you got him, starting this channel and managing. So I really appreciate you for that too. I'm always in y'all
Okay.
comments like, I didn't know this. Thank y'all for that. So both of you guys together have been a blessing. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah,
you.
you've been a big supporter. Thank you. So for people out there watching, please like the video. Go ahead, subscribe if you haven't. If you don't like it, go ahead, hit the dislike button. Just write in the comment.
No.
We
I'm
don't
just
like you though.
It all counts the same. It doesn't matter. It's called engagement.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
yeah, and then write in the comments on how we can do better. But until next time, it's Investment Talk Only. I'm Johnny Ruiz, Ryan and Monique.
I'm Monique.
Good night.